Hello, my darling cupies. I'm feeling kind of restless today. Um, I've had a really shit day yesterday, which is why I didn't actually end up doing anything I planned on doing. Things kind of just took a turn that I didn't expect, and then I had to go get groceries, and then I was on top of the world. Grocery day is like Christmas. I don't know why I'm like this. Well, actually, yes, I do. Of course, I know why I'm like this. How dare I say something like that? That is so blatantly untrue. Um, but by God, grocery day is like Christmas. It's like I look forward to it the way that I used to look forward to like really big trips or birthday parties. Like a few years ago when I worked at the factory, I used to like look forward to my birthday party because I would like save up a bunch of money because that's back when I was making like money, like actual money. Like it wasn't great, but it was comfortable money. It was just me. I was only responsible for me. And I lived in this tiny little apartment, so my bills were not much. Um, it was so very nice. So I was able to treat myself occasionally. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to shell out. Like, I think I spent somewhere around 300 on my birthday party. And like I was so excited, so excited. I was planning it months in advance. And I swear to God, I have that level of excitement about my groceries. Like I'm already thinking about next month's groceries. I'm already thinking about my next grocery trip for for the rest of my grocery money. And if that's not a sign of like the times, I don't know what is. I don't know what is. Um, so yeah, but yeah, that's just kind of where I've been at. And why I kind of just suck. And yeah, I know I'm still wearing the same damn sweater. I know. It's whatever. Um, I'm freezing. I need to water my plant. I fear she's dying. Maybe it's a good thing I didn't get any pets. Can't even keep a stupid plant alive. I can't even keep my stupid me alive. I'm only alive because God hates me. I know, I'm just being dramatic. Okay, but in all seriousness, I wanted to talk about the kind of content that I've been seeing on YouTube that's annoying me. Weirdly enough, it feels like everyone's trying to pretend that they're so deep now. Oh, the world is ending. Let's talk about these super deep topics. Like, blow it out your own ass. Nothing matters. Like, I'm sorry, but like, why are we just now finally discussing something that I have literally known my whole life? Me and countless others, mind you. Like, I saw a video pop up on my feed. Oh, the big corporations that are doing the plastic and stuff, the food companies and all of the plastic companies and all of those people who are in bed together, they're experimenting on you and you don't even know it. And it's like, no, we do know it. We've been knew it. We've been saying this for fucking decades. But because a white person on YouTube said it, now it's real. Now it's real. Okay. Fine. Fine. Like, I don't know. This shit pisses me off. Like, it pisses me off. Oh no. And then I see like really stupid videos on YouTube that get like a shit ton of views, and I'm like, why? Why is this self-pitying, annoying ass video getting this many views? It's like I have no friends. Yeah, none of us do. Congratulations. It's the modern day. Do any of us have friends? No, it's all an illusion and a lie. We all pretend we have friends, but really we have a bunch of superficial connections that mean absolutely nothing beyond the surface level. Because at the end of the day, they will drop you in a heartbeat. The moment it becomes inconvenient or it doesn't protect their peace or whatever. So yeah, no, friendship, total scam, not real. That's a myth. So, no shit, you have no friends. I don't either. None of us do. We just have people we tolerate around us. Maybe that's really pessimistic of me. Cynical, maybe. I don't fucking know. And then I saw another one. Oh, I'm so ugly. And their YouTube channel's name is about being an ugly woman or some stupid shit. And it's like, come off it. Who gives a fuck? We're all ugly. We're all a giant design flaw. We're the only creature on this planet that actually, like, fucking exists in such an abhorrent way. I mean, literally, we are wired to be tricked into death. So, like, for real, so, like, can we be so for real? Who gives a fuck about that shit? Oh, I'm ugly too. Maybe not to some people. Oh, you're a redhead, you're skinny, you're so pretty, you're so perfect. No. That's the thing. My meat suit might be pretty, but that don't mean shit. Because all my meat suit is another future corpse to rot in the ground. Just like the rest of us. So who gives a shit what this stupid fucking future corpse looks like? That's what I don't get. Why are we so caught up in something so stupid? So vapid. Ooh, vapid little distractions, vapid little distractions. Yes, don't look at the world burning around us. Let's focus instead on making sure that skin is clear and that we don't age a single day and look a single second over 14. Sickening. It's like, why are we trying to simultaneously look 14 and 21 at the same time so we can look legal but also not look legal? Why is that the goal of beauty right now? Please make it make sense, because that's kind of gross and weird. Whatever happened to liking a woman with a little bit of woman to her? God damn. I don't know about anybody else, but I still like a woman who got a little bit of woman to her. I don't know. Maybe that's just because I look at myself and I'm like, curves? Never met them. It's like there's not a single womanly attribute about me. And so I don't know, maybe it's just something I see in others and I'm like, wow, that's so fucking beautiful. And then I see them like on the internet being like, I'm so ugly. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Who gives a fuck? One person or maybe some people might think you're ugly. But the thing is, there are plenty others who don't. That's the thing about it. And then another thing about it is the fact that, truthfully, beauty is entirely subjective. So we might think that, we might look in the mirror and think, oh, that is the ugliest person I've ever seen. That is a disgrace. Nobody will ever love that person. That's an ugly person. And you know, we might genuinely believe that to our very core when we look in the mirror at ourselves. But the thing is, you're just not your own type. Maybe that's it. Because you are absolutely somebody else's type. Somebody else looks at you and think, ooh, stunning. Like, seriously. Like, dead ass. I'm not even kidding you. Like, I've had people tell me that they genuinely believe they're ugly. I've even had other people tell me that they also believe that this other person is ugly, confirming that person's internalized feelings. And I'm just sitting there like, where? Like, I don't know. Maybe I've just got a different set of eyes than everybody else. I don't fucking know. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I do think that men can sometimes be kind of ugly looking, but God built men like that. The only men that don't be looking ugly either be looking unnatural, like some Photoshop type shit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know. How much Photoshop you think they use for, Michael B. Jordan? That man's a whole snack. And I just want to know. But anyway, no, he's genuinely quite beautiful, though. No, but there are genuinely, like, beautiful, beautiful people of all types on all ends of things. It's just, it depends on a person's personal tastes. Like, I personally think that men that are pretty or beautiful are more appealing than the ones who are handsome or masculine, you know? And it's like, and I like the ones that somehow tread the line of both, which I feel like Michael B. Jordan does beautifully. Like, he's got such a beautiful face, but such a beautiful body, too. Anyway, it's like, if I were to have one man crush, I reckon that would be it. But yeah. So it's just, I don't know. It's just so stupid. I don't know. It just, why are we focused on such vapid things? And then I see other videos and it's like, thank you for 20 subscribers. And it's like, are they trolling? And then they put up another video. Thank you again for 20 subscribers. And it's like getting 500 views. And I'm like, all right, this person's silly. And I quite like that energy. So it's like I've been scrolling through and lately I've been really fucking with my own algorithm a lot. So my algorithm's been throwing random things my way because it's like, oh God, you've changed. Now what do you want to watch? Because before I was very predictable. I was watching the same shit over and over again, basically. And recently, due to the fact that I've been struggling a bit with myself, it has kind of led me down a different rabbit hole of content. And so now my YouTube is like struggling. It's like the algorithm is like, what? What do you like? What do you like? What do you like? What? We knew you so well for so long. What? What is this? Who is this? You know, out of nowhere. It's like suddenly it's like I'm another person or something, you would think. So it's shoving a bunch of different new stuff into my algorithm that is like, well, you like this maybe strange random person who has morphed? You know, like it's just offering me random little things trying to see what will work. And occasionally it does offer me things that are similar to my own content. And my own content is very chaotic and very all over the place and varied. And I do recognize that. And I'm trying to work on that. I really am. I do kind of want to take this and have it be more of a like discussion-y type of situation. On this channel, like I want there to be more dialogue, I feel like, because right now with the whole like, oh, it's my online diary, it actually doesn't feel very productive actually at all. Actually, it feels in fact like I'm running in circles. So I'm pivoting a little bit and trying to make it to where it's like, okay, so maybe if this were more of an active dialogue while also maintaining the honesty and openness of a diary and everything like that. So that was like a thought process that I had. And of course there will still be, like I said, fashion segments and crochet segments and other things like that. And then I've got my side channels, too many side channels, I swear to God. Here we go. Hold on. Just a wee bit of sleep in my eyes. But yeah. So like, I don't know, like, beauty's an entirely subjective thing. Some people will look at my face and think that I'm quite beautiful because I have a nice jawline. And my cheekbones are very nice, relatively. For the most part. My proportions, skull structure, everything looks fairly decent. I have green eyes and red hair. Curly red hair, even. Freckles. Very trendy, that. For the moment. When I was younger, it wasn't. Got bullied for it. Nobody ever believes I have freckles. Because you never can see them past all the scabs. The scabs are arguably what makes me ugly. These are both from the perspective of other people. These are neither of these are my opinions, because I don't care about things like scabs. I think it's stupid. I don't think scars or scabs make a person ugly. I just think it means they've lived. It's just a part of life. Just like I don't think having a beautiful bone structure or a pretty face makes you inherently beautiful. Especially since I'm not really my own type. Just like I was telling you guys earlier, how you might look in the mirror and not like yourself, but it's just because you're not your own type. I don't go for redheads. I don't go for people that look like they could be related to me. I'm sorry, but we all know that every redhead gets mistaken for being related to every other redhead. It has happened to me my whole life. And so it's just like, in my head, as a result of that, it's like, nope, redheads are off limits. I won't date them. Not my type. Repulsive. Absolutely not. That'd be like dating my own brother. That's how my head has equated it. And so now it's like I have this absolute aversion to dating other redheads as a result. As absurd as that sounds. So yeah. That's a whole thing. But, you know, nobody else with any other hair color has to worry about this. Blondes, brunettes. Oh, those are so dead common that it's just like, oh yeah, 2 brunettes dating, so what? Everyone's brunette. So it's like really frustrating. But if it's 2 redheads dating, oh, are you related? You look dead alike. Like, Jesus, fuck off. And then some people just think that redheads are ugly. I mean, they've got a point when it comes to the redheaded men. No offense to them. Most of them are a miss. There are a few who actually look decent. But most of them are a miss. But then again, that also might be just because of the fact that growing up, I literally had... I was the ginger girl of the family. I literally had ginger men around me as my relatives. I had my Uncle John, I had my brother. So it's just like, redhead male equal family. I don't know. So in my head, it's just like, yeah, they're just not attractive in that way. I don't know. Maybe that's why that exists in my head like that. But so as a result of this, I don't personally find myself attractive. I know objectively that other people might. Not everyone. Because there are still a lot of people that think that gingers are quite ugly. Which is their prerogative, I guess. I'm not hurt by it. It's whatever. That would be like me getting upset if I said, like, that somebody, like, that would be like if somebody got upset just because I said, like, oh, yeah, no, I don't particularly prefer beards or fancy them. That'd be like someone getting upset at me about that. It's just like, it's a preference thing. It's nothing personal. It doesn't mean that I'll just absolutely refuse to date someone who's got a beard. My girlfriend's got a beard. What of it? Well, no, she recently shaved it, but still. So it's just like, I don't know. It's not something that really bothers me. Though I know a lot of people probably think that it does because of the fact that it should, I guess. But I suppose whenever your whole life you're being told you're ugly, and that nobody will ever like you, and that you're worthless, and that you have no friends, You kind of just like don't give a shit. You're just like, yeah, and it's like telling me the obvious. You think I give a shit? What if I like being alone? What if I like being friends with the crows and the fae? I've been feeding them cherries again because it was grocery day. And of course, I'm going to be sharing some of my other little snackies too. I do like to share. But yes. So I guess that's just kind of like where my thought process has been today. It's just, I've been doom scrolling for majority of the night and majority of the morning and looking at what other people are putting on the internet and thinking, God, this is insane. And then I was looking at all this philosophical stuff about things like nihilism and absurdism and just all these philosophical ideas. And truthfully, I do find a lot of it very fascinating. Because it's just, I don't know, it's interesting. It's like, wow, YouTube somehow understood that I'm having a bit of an existential crisis and has now curated my content to pertain to discussions surrounding it. Philosophical and existential discussions about various topics such as life, God, society, and humanity, and the meaning of all of it. And basically, life and death. These are all topics that have been heavily featured in my suggestions. And as I scroll through and click the ones that catch my interest, I've watched a few and found them rather quite fascinating. And then as a result, it shaped my algorithm some more, and that's how I ended up with a lot of this self-pitying shit in my algorithm, where it's just like, I have no friends, I'm ugly, no one likes me, blah 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 blah. Who gives a shit? You're focusing on the wrong shit. The stupid thing is, I don't care if anyone likes me. In fact, I reckon that if people like me, I must be doing something quite wrong. Because quite frankly, I think it's quite sus, the things that we consider good. We are a society that believes in destroying an individual for the ideal of the greater good, and I think that is absolutely abhorrent. And so when good and bad is measured in such a way, how can we really think and care about things such as whether or not we are liked by our fellow man? When things such as wealth and status and all that good horse shit is really what it boils down to having, and those are what make you important in this life, then who gives a fuck? I'm sure plenty of people like Trump. I wouldn't reckon that's a thing to be proud of. I certainly wouldn't be proud of Trump to be Trump. So, that's just an example. It's just like, there are lots of people who like people who other people think are bad, and vice versa. And so, as a result of this, why does it matter? Or is it that we want to be liked by the right people or all the people? And if you're trying to have a life where all you do is fight to be liked by everyone, you're going to be miserable and liked by none. If you're setting out to be liked by a specific group, then one must ask themselves, what is the motive here? What is the reason? Why do I want this group to like me? Why do I need them to accept me? And I think that that's kind of the start of the conversation, really. So, the thing that gets me is, or at least that I struggle to personally understand, and maybe that's just because of the fact that I've grown up in such a lonely way, that I've accepted not being liked. I've accepted being ugly. I've accepted being outcast. I have accepted being other than human. The world has placed me here, and I have since accepted my role here. And now this is where I reside until I die. It is what it is. My own species has alienated me. But haven't we all been alienated from our own species? That's the crisis of the human race, isn't it? So, at the end of the day, fuck it. I don't care what anyone thinks. I don't care about getting approval. I don't care about being liked or popular or even perceived as good. Because at the end of the day, everyone's idea of good is different. Some people would perceive me as bad and some will perceive me as good, depending on their own set of moral beliefs. And based on some of their beliefs, I might have differing and opposite opinions. And I don't care. My stupid, inane opinion has no stupid impact on anyone else but me. It only holds bearing in my own life. But maybe by saying this or trying to have this conversation, maybe it can help someone to who might be struggling with those kinds of thoughts. They're like, oh God, nobody likes me, this society hates me and all of that. And it's like, yeah, but the society right now hates everyone but itself. That's the thing, though. We are living in a world right now where everyone everyone external of the titular self is loathed. Even your friends, even your family. I'm almost certain of it. I can sense it because everyone discards anyone at the heart and a heartbeat at the drop of a fucking hat. Oh, you're inconvenient now. Oh, you're costing me my energy. Oh, you're costing me my peace. Bye. In a heartbeat. So, truthfully, we all loathe each other. Nobody likes anyone. And I'm convinced that even in families this is the case. There's no such thing as love. I'm beginning to really think that it's just kind of something we delude ourselves into. Because it's everyone chases after this idea of unconditional love. You'll never have it. If that's what you're going to chase after, you're never going to be happy. And you'll never have it. Especially if you're like me and your parents aren't even capable of it. Because that's the only unconditional love there really is from your parents. And when they can't do it, they're not wired right to do this very basic thing, you'll never know it. You'll never know what it's like. You'll know what it's like to give unconditional love because how desperately you want it. You'll find yourself giving unconditional love to everyone around you, but never getting it back. And never receiving any in turn. And you begin to internalize a feeling that maybe you're not worthy of it. So sometimes you just need to remind yourself, society's really broken right now. Nobody's capable of liking anyone right now, let alone loving anyone. As a matter of fact, I think right now everyone is so caught up in not liking anyone that they don't even like themselves, frankly. They're absorbed with themselves trying to fix their own life, but I don't even think they like themselves. Self-care, except it's not self-care. It's self-obsession. It's desperately clinging to anything that will promise to fix the problem and make things better, except they're selling you lies. So you reach grasping, oh, self-help books, self-this, self-that, self-healing, self-care, self-love, self-acceptance, blah, 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 blah. And it is all to make a buck. At the end of the day, we can't fix ourselves. And they're trying to sell you a scam by acting like you can. The thing is when one turns inward to solve their problems, one actually ends up sinking further into said problems. Until they ultimately become so sucked into it that they kind of collapse in on themselves like a black hole, taking kind of their whole life down with them. Unless they can manage to climb their way out, this usually can end in a pretty self-destructive way. Oftentimes, the way out is not found alone. You'll find that with others, with support systems, genuine community, the way things were meant to be for the human race, the way we were meant to survive, the reason that we're not surviving now and the reason that everything is miserable now is because we are going against our very nature. We are a communal species. We rely on the herd, the community, for our well-being. We all are supposed to benefit from society. That was the point. And now none of us are. So that's the problem. So the thing is, everyone's reaching and grasping for the top part of the pyramid when we haven't even met the bottom part. You cannot reach self-actualization if your basic needs are not met. That's the problem with the self-help cycle. Oh, I'm depressed and miserable. Everyone hates me. I hate me. My life is miserable. Let me change my life. Oh, I know. I'll help myself. I'll cut out all these people because they're not doing anything positive for my life. And then I'll isolate myself and think really hard about everything. And then, shit, the world sucks. And I'm alone now. Fuck. Time to dig deeper. More self-help books. More self-isolation. More self-introspection. More looking in the mirror and navel-gazing. To the point where you kind of get so caught up in it that you cannot think or step outside of your own mind. You have locked yourself prisoner here now. Congratulations. And that has what has happened to a lot of people. It's like we latched on to the idea of, oh, here's our way out of this particular situation. I don't like myself. I'm not satisfied with myself. Nobody else likes me. And instead of actually helping, it ends up making it worse because we are not meant to be helping ourselves. We're meant to be working together to fix things. That's the thing. As a species, we're meant to work together. That's why therapy requires more than just one person. You cannot self-therapize. It doesn't work. That's the problem with the whole shadow work shit on, TikTok or whatever. It's like the idea of self-therapy is just, and I get it, it's not something that we can access. It is something, and that is why it's like really important. If we're going to be having these conversations, we have to make it a dialogue instead of just a just reflection. Just I don't know, that's not the word I'm looking for. It was, there's just too many words, actually. There's too many words. There's so many words, actually, and I want to use them all. So, but no, it's just, there needs to be a back and forth dialogue. Because we are, like I said, a communal species. And that is why we are currently failing. That's why society is collapsing. That's why everyone's miserable. That's why everything's falling apart. Because we're failing to function as a community. To care about our fellow man. We've all become introspective and self-centered. Focusing on improving our own odds. Screw the other guys. And the thing is, yes, that's valid and understandable. And I do understand where you're coming from. Because I often have the very same urge. But truthfully, this is not going to solve a thing. All it's going to do is make you end up ending your life prematurely, really. I think. Because you begin to feel hopeless. The cycle becomes so repetitive. You're just like, oh, well, I guess I just can't fix myself. And that sinks in. And then you realize, and it's even more complicated, though, than that whenever you don't have resources and nobody else can fix you either. So then you're like, well, I guess there's just nothing. And the thing is that you can find yourself in these moments of agonizing silence, wanting more than anything to be able to scream at the top of your lungs, to be heard. Finally. To be able to communicate what has been burdening you your whole life. And then what happens is you might set yourself free. You might write it out in your journal or put it on a YouTube video, and you might just find yourself kind of freed by it. Like, oh, now that I've talked about it out loud, I realize, I don't know, what I'm saying is, there needs to be dialogue for things to get better. That goes for society. That goes for individuals. That goes for community. That goes for all of it. We cannot fix anything by turning inward. Well, not everything anyway. We can fix things about ourselves, but we cannot turn completely inward permanently and expect it to fix everything. We can turn inward to some extent, but we still have to stay connected to our outside world. Once we lose that connection, it becomes very hard to get back. So yeah, I guess that's where I will leave this, actually. That was a very, I don't know. This felt like a very intellectual conversation, which I didn't expect, actually. I did, but didn't. I don't know. I feel like I become more thoughtful and analytical, and start to really try to think of things in a different way. Whenever I get really depressed, I kind of just turn outward and try to fix the rest of the world. I guess it's because of how I was brought up, I was always taking care of everybody else. I can't take care of myself. I have to take care of everybody else. So I still don't know how to actually fix myself. My therapists don't know how to fix me either. My psychiatrists don't know how to fix me. Around here, nobody does. So I'm stuck chasing my tail and having conversations with YouTube and hoping to God that maybe maybe there'll be some dialogue or something that'll click. Or maybe I'm delusional and stupid. But at least my voice will be heard, and I will have something left behind that says I was here, and I thought, and I fought, and I lived, kinda. And I fought to live and to think and to try. And that even in spite of my absolute nihilism, that I still try to do things to help others. Because it's like, yeah, life is meaningless, but I may as well make it mean something for someone else. Maybe that's just where I come from with that. It's just like, I find it hard to live for myself. So it's like, if I can live to like help others, then that's good enough for me for now. You know? Sometimes it's about taking the temporary reprieve rather than the permanent one, for the sake of seeing tomorrow. You know, I think that is difficult to kind of grapple with, and it can lead into a very dangerous conversation. But when you put it in black and white, when you put it very simply, okay, do I die now, or do I engage in this potentially unhealthy way of coping to deal with this now, so that I live to see tomorrow? You know, that is the very conversation that I feel that a lot of Gen Z is having. And I feel that a lot of people are like, Gen Z's addicted, Gen Z has issues, Gen Z this, Gen Z that. I'm seeing so much of that content in my feed as well, about how we're doomed and how we are so addicted to everything and escapism, and how we're just suffering and hurting and just in absolute shambles, and our future is just hopeless because AI is ruining everything, and nobody will hire us. And the job market's fucked, and the economy's fucked, and cost of living is higher than our income, and so we'd have to work ourselves half to death and not even get anywhere, barely make rent, and starve to death in a nice safe house. So, yeah, no shit, we're looking at ways of coping in the present to deal with the fact that everything along on the horizon spells out doom. So it's very hard to look out there at the horizon and think, I'm so excited. I'm so excited for the future. You know, it's dead hard. It's so hard to be excited for the future when you feel like it's this looming, awful conundrum. You're waiting for it. Like you're waiting for the blade of the guillotine to drop. It's inevitable. You know it's going to be bad. Just as certainly as you know you're going to die. Eventually. It's a fact of life. We all are. So, why not scroll through TikTok for a few more hours rather than, you know, jumping off a bridge or something stupid? Temporary distraction. If it keeps you here for a minute, is it worth it? Or is it doing more damage? Now that is the real conversation. That's the real conversation everyone has been beaten around the bush of. And that's the conversation I want to get into in the next one. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Like, comment, subscribe. If you're having don't mind me as I get tangled up in my string. If you're having a hard time, please know you're not alone. Right now, everyone on earth seems to be having a hard time. I actually have noticed a staggering amount of parallels to present time to the Great Depression. And I see very similar. It's very interesting how many similarities and parallels there are. I'm just saying. Even the effects on society as a whole. That's the part that I'm talking about being parallel. When I look at history, I'm looking at it from a societal, human, psychological aspect. because that's how I look at the world. That's the thing that I find fascinating about it. So it's interesting that I'm seeing all these parallels. So everyone is struggling right now. You are not alone. There are resources, even though I know how much they feel like they can be such a waste. Because, like I said, the ones around me don't often feel like they're very helpful at all, actually. Like ever, in fact. And it can be hard to feel hopeful, but the thing is there's still things that you can try. You know, there's still things in life that you still have to be, like, there's still things in life that you probably do want to try. There's things you're probably curious of, yeah? You know, so there's still things to experience, things to hang on for. So if hanging on for today means that all you can do is eat flaming hot Cheetos and scroll through TikTok or YouTube or a combination of all the social medias simultaneously, it's not good for your brain in the long run. But if it means seeing tomorrow, then I suppose I'll see you tomorrow. But yeah, in the next video, I'm also gonna kind of talk about some of my own unhealthy ways of coping to get through the present, and how that I know that it will be damaging. But the thing is that I've also weighed this out, and that's the responsible conversation that I feel we need to be having. And that's, like I said, I'll get in that in the next video. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Like I said, you can, we can debate things in the comments, talk about things you're struggling with. I do read all the comments. And unless you say something particularly awful, I do not delete them. Like, you know, hateful. Don't do anything hateful and I won't delete your comments. You'll be fine. Well, you know what? I've also deleted comments from my stalker, but that's not neither here nor there. Just a real life person that I've got a restraining order against, nothing major. But yeah, no. So I will read all the comments and I will absolutely try my best to respond to them in the most appropriate way that I can and the most timely manner. I read them almost as soon as I get them. Provided I have internet at the moment. Sometimes the power out here can be a little bit iffy when the weather gets bad. But yeah. So I will see you guys in the next one. Please, 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 please take care. And don't be afraid to talk to somebody, you know. I know that it feels very burdensome, but they will likely feel some level of relief that you're talking to them rather than closing them off. I'm speaking from experience on that one. Anyway, I love you guys. Do take care. Do stay safe. Bye, my darling Cupid dolls. Stay safe and stay fabulous.